Our daily Bible reading for February 12th. Our reading today comes from the Gospel of Matthew chapter 24. We'll be reading verses 36 through 51. Matthew 24. But concerning that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father only. For as were the days of Noah, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. For as in those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day when Noah entered the ark. And they were unaware until the flood came and swept them all away. So will be the coming of the Son of Man. Then 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and one left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken and one left. Therefore stay awake, for you do not know on what day your Lord is coming. But know this, that if the master of the house had known in what part of the night the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and would not have let his house be broken into. Therefore, you also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. Who then is the faithful and wise servant, whom his master has set over his household, to give them their food at the proper time? Blessed is that servant whom his master will find so doing when he comes. Truly I say to you, he will set him over all his possessions. But if that wicked servant says to himself, My master is delayed, and begins to beat his fellow servants, and eats and drinks with drunkards, the master of that servant will come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour he does not know, and will cut him in pieces, and put him with the hypocrites. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Some thoughts for today. There seems to be a propensity for many of us to wait until the last minute, even though we may have known about the deadline for a long time. Term papers, taxes, packing for trips, sermons, projects, shopping, and the list goes on and on. Perhaps we are all guilty of procrastination. However, in the preceding list, we find tangible goals with familiar tasks of everyday activities. We have a sense of what is involved and what is expected. Jesus tells of an event yet future to them that, just like the flood of Noah, was beyond comprehension, but foretold nonetheless. It is revealed that those in the days of Noah did not understand until the flood came what exactly was going to happen. Jesus said his coming would be the same. Who could have known in the days of Noah what a flood would be like, having never seen one before? The writer of Hebrews tells us, by faith, Noah, being warned by God about things not yet seen, in reverence prepared an ark for the salvation of his household, by which he condemned the world and became an heir of righteousness, which is according to faith. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 7. About things not seen. Noah alone and his family believed what God had said, despite the fact that not a shred of evidence existed that would indicate a flood would occur. In spite of the warnings, the people would not believe. We find the same attitude exists today. We have been told that there is a day coming for judgment upon this earth. Yet, day after day, people heed not the warnings when the end could come quite unexpectedly. Perhaps Peter pondered this conversation when he himself warned of that coming day in his letter. He writes, Know this first of all, that in the last days mockers will come with their mocking, following their own lusts and saying, Where is the promise of his coming? For ever since the fathers fell asleep, all continues just as it was from the beginning of creation. 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 3 and 4. There may be a tendency to think that this will delay until well into the future, if it happens at all. But that would be a mistake that those in Noah's day wish they hadn't made. A question of the day. Are you ready for the judgment day? And finally, a thought to meditate on this day. As you go about your daily routine today, consider how many around you go unaware that the end could occur at any time. And those are our thoughts for today, February